welcome to my first YouTube video. My name is Ayushi. And for everyone who's here from Milk and Cookies, welcome. And yes, this day is finally here, and I'm so excited to be making this video. This was long overdue. This is something that I've been wanting to do since a very long time. And also, with all of your support, this is where we are, and I'm so happy to have you here. And for people who do not know, I write on my Substack. It's called Milk and Cookies. This is going to be such an exciting project for me because writing is a very intimate experience and there are topics that run through my mind every single day. I do write for you guys every day, but sitting here talking to you and just imagining that you guys are here in front of me and just talking to you directly with just my thoughts and feelings about topics that I like to think about and insights that I gain is just amazing and something that I'm looking forward to. So currently I'm in Bali. I'm traveling after a very long time because I honestly as amazing and lovely traveling is and the kind of experience that traveling gives you is just exceptional and out of the world. However, I've been thinking about something lately and it's just me going around and exploring all these new places in Bali and the culture, the food, the people, the waters, the new textures, I realized that Bali also has quite a spiritual side to itself. And noticing all these people also reminded me of the movie Eat, Pray, Love. And I felt that why not go ahead and try and explore myself this time while I explore this place. Because this is something I've realized we forget to do every now and then. We do not end up thinking about ourselves. We do not take a moment to pause. We're always in the rush to do the next thing. And I've realized that over the years, rushing to things with our morning tasks, our morning checklists, our to dos, running errands, working, sleeping, and just living in this robotic sense of life is something that is not fulfilling for our souls. So, since exploring and how to be an explorer of your own life is the topic of the day, I want to start by sharing some thoughtful ways that I've realized that have really worked for me. In 2025, I have been on my phone a lot. I've been doom scrolling and it has not turned out very well for me. And I've realized as much as I love consuming media, it is a rabbit hole if you just turn adjacent and you end up consuming things that are irrelevant to your personal liking. And it's so easy to get drawn to things like that. We just need to start by noticing small things. If you're just scrolling and you're reading articles, what type of media are you drawn to? Do regrets fill you up after consuming something? Can we possibly be mindful about that and not repeat it again? Or even for instance, just noticing something small. If you're just sitting on your desk and working, are you feeling overwhelmed? I have found myself to be so overwhelmed, but I'm just like in this robotic mode. And I find that just recentering myself and just doing quick breathing exercises have really, really helped me. So just stop and breathe and probably look around your beautiful home. Probably look outside your office window. There are probably trees out there. There's probably changing seasons that you can notice. And just stop and breathe and look. Another way that I think I've somehow managed to explore myself is finding new hobbies or even old ones. I got back to coloring. So I got this really cute coloring book that's for adults, but doesn't really look like one. And I got these alcoholic sketch pens, a small set, and I started coloring every night before I slept. It just helped with so many things. It helped with color therapy. It just helped with coloring between lines. It reminded me of my younger self, and it is such a meditative, soothing activity. Reading is something that I feel that I do fall back to every now and then. I have a lot of books, as we all do, on my TBR, but I think it's essential to also just let loose sometimes and read books that are probably fit for your mood. It's probably not the best time to read what someone else is reading in the moment. Just go ahead and read something that you feel is fine. I have been in this current phase of just learning and absorbing a lot of information because just a couple of months ago, I was so lost with everything that was happening. And I also found myself getting lost and having sort of an identity crisis. So I started reading. I started reading Educated by Tara Westover, which was so good and so appropriate. I don't know what happened. It was just the book was sitting on my bookshelf and it just called to me in ways that I probably don't believe in, but it just called to me and I read it and it was something that got me back into reading. I read like 6 books that month, slowed other things down, and currently I'm reading Babel by R.F. Kuang. If anyone's read Babel, Robin's story of just getting into this whole academic zone is just so inspiring to me, and the persistence and the hard work and the world that she creates in this book is amazing. And weirdly, I've been reading Babel in Bali, which I don't think a lot of people would naturally do. I know a lot of people would go around reading something like the Let Them Theory, but yeah, this is me because I think it fits my mood. And every time I sit to read, I know that I'm gonna read. I know that I'm probably going to also look forward to my reading. I'm taking the time out to read first thing in the morning while sipping on my coffee. And this is sort of a mixture and brings me to my next point that do not do what everyone else is doing. Just do what feels right to you. Just probably take that nap if you want to. Probably just lay down and look at the trees around you. Talk to that friend if you need to. Do not go clubbing if that's not your thing. And I'm experiencing that here because there is one side of the people here who probably go clubbing a lot, and I'm not one of those people at all. And I'm just skipping all these places, even though so many of my friends have recommended these places to me. I'm like, no, that's so not my thing. And I'm probably really good walking around the town and going to really cute coffee shops and meeting people there. And this applies to something that I've been doing back at home also. If I do not have the energy levels to make plans with people, I do not. This is just a phase of my life. This is probably the winter of my life where I just want to hibernate and probably go back to myself and go inward. So I'm not going to be doing what's right because once I'm out of this, I'm probably going to have a better time and I'm going to live life with better quality. I don't know why, but in the past 2 years, or if it's after COVID, I know it's happening with me. I know it's happening around the people I love, and everyone's going through change all the time. Especially since the past year or two, I've had a lot of change. I've moved, I have met some people, I've lost some people. I found myself grieving a lot. I found myself also being so frustrated, and this was purely because I was resisting it. And as we all know, change is the only constant. I read somewhere about this. It said to flow with the change and not resist it. While you are going through a frustrating phase, it's even more frustrated when you read stuff like this. But I decided to give it a go. And when I did, it took me a few months to just adapt to these changes and just being and sitting in this change and the phase of my life, whether it was relationships, my career, my home situation, the country I was living in. It helped me live a better quality life and also understand myself better, what kind of change I'm okay with. I've also found that if you do resist it, it has a way of coming back to you later, maybe in few months or a year. So just go with it, just go with the flow of your change. And it's a phase, just remember that. You're probably going to come out of it with acceptance and not issues within yourself. And while we're going through this, I've realized that I have learned to create things for myself. Whether it is just a piece of stupid watercolor painting, whether it is a recipe that I've been meaning to try but doesn't really fit okay. And I've just ended up creating a lot this year. I created so much, and Milk and Cookies was one of that. I have been inclined towards writing. I just started Milk and Cookies to have an outlet in my life. And that was my version of creation. And just creating something is going to fulfill your soul in ways that you can't imagine. And just one tip that I have learned in the process of creating is do not worry about the result. Do not worry about the outcome, and just know that during the process, regardless of the outcome, you're going to come out learning so much more about yourself. Whether it is probably the places that you like to travel to, the books you like to read, the articles you like, the authors you like, the people you prefer as friends, and the people you like to keep distance from. And during this process, I also feel that letting your emotions flow, to not hold it back, is one of the strongest things we can do because emotions are meant to be be felt and not suppressed. But in the society that we live in, it's somehow not okay to cry in public. It's somehow not okay to cry at social gatherings. Okay, I get it. Like, you're not going to cry out of the blue. You're probably going to cry if something happens. And if it is out of the blue for someone else, that's okay. It's probably not. It's probably that time of the month for you and you're not feeling very great. You're probably in a very agitated mood, in a very frustrated mood, and that's okay. I mean, that is something that happens to all of us. And we do know that emotion is a way that our body is trying to tell us something. That way, you can probably connect with your body and mind in a better way. I believe during your journey of self exploration, curiosity is your best friend. And I don't mean curiosity in the way intellectuals are curious about things. I don't mean curiosity in a way that I mean curiosity in the most simplest ways. Probably you are feeling the way you are. You just want to know why, and just probably try asking yourself, why am I feeling this? Why do I feel like being home all day today? Why do I like the color blue? And write the answers to your curious questions. I found that curiosity has opened doors for me like nothing has before. It does seem unproductive because you're probably wasting your time being curious about something. But I highly recommend being curious about anything and everything around you and within yourself. Being genuinely curious about things around you and your feelings and emotions are going to bring you back in touch with yourself and get to know yourself and be your own best friend. One way that I recommend so highly, and this has to be my favorite, is just create a cozy space in your home. It could be a nook, it could be just one favorite couch corner that you like, and just create a cozy space that you go back to, and it's like your comfort place. And if something goes wrong, if you're not feeling well, you know that's where you go. It's like your cozy thinking corner, and that makes you feel more at home in your home. Take that corner, it could be outdoors on your patio, in your balcony, and you could take that corner and just journal sometimes read a book, sometimes watch TV and watch amazing movies in that corner. Creating a cozy space is something that I've found to be amazingly nourishing for myself. No matter how tired I am or how active I am, I just find myself going back to this crazy corner in my home that I've created. Mine is pretty simple. It's just the corner of my living area couch. I got a really pretty lamp that feels more like me. So during evenings, I know the lighting's going to be so ambient, and I'm going to look forward to turning the lamp on in the evening and going and sitting there. I do have my favorite blanket around for me to grab and my fuzzy socks that I always wear. And yeah, I'll probably wrap myself in a book or go on a phone call with a family member or sometimes watch my favorite comfort movies just sitting in that corner. Letting go of expectations is one thing that has freed me in unimaginable ways. I have been and I still am a very sensitive person. And I do feel that I pick up on the energy of people around me. If I have expectations to top that up, it's just going to make it so hard for me to have a healthy mindset. So now I've just decided to detach myself from the people around me, but make it really healthy. I mean, I don't mean it in a way where I'm saying I do not care about the people I love or the people around me. And I just mean it in a way where their actions, your mood is not dependent on their actions, and your mood will not get affected whether or not your expectations are being met, because you do not have the expectations from them in the first place, because your expectations are more about you inward, and it starts and ends with you. While remembering that your path does not have to look like anyone else's, and vice versa, you do not need to match up to anyone else's expectations. Self exploration starts with asking yourself, what do I need right now? I encourage this so much because in the world of social media, we've been taught to just live this perfect life and have the perfect routine and be so productive all the time, be a Pilates girl. That's probably not real for them. And even if it is, it's not for us. And it's so important for us to know what do we feel every day? What do we need right now? Knowing that we have so many variants in our daily lives, it could be emotional, it could be practical, it could be tens of unexpected tasks that we fall down on every single day. Stop, take a second, and just ask yourself, what do I need right now? Do you need a hot shower? It's probably not the weekend and you do not have the time to do your bath ritual. But that's fine. You can just skip your walk and go for the bath because that's what's going to soothe you and that's what your gut is telling you to do. So do not skip that bath and go ahead and do what you feel like doing. The less you listen to yourself, the further away you're going to go away from yourself. So I think being in alignment with what you need is going to help you have a more fulfilling self exploratory journey. My favorite thing to do is spend time alone and not to just be alone. I think that in this 3-second attention world, we fill our alone time with so much noise. We doom scroll, would probably be on TikTok or Instagram and just scroll and live someone else's life that we probably do not want. So I highly recommend just spend quality time alone. I personally found that it helps me to find out what I'm feeling at the start of the day. It could probably be journaling for 2 hours if I do have the time. And I would make sure that the moment I get alone time, I'm going to journal for 2 hours. Yes, laziness comes in the middle of all this, but just try to fight it, journal, or do whatever you feel like doing when you're alone. And once it's done, you're gonna feel in touch with yourself. There's no better feeling than that. You know that okay, now my life is filled with external noise after my alone time. But when I was alone, I did something that I always long to do when I'm not alone. And that's it for my first video. I'm so nervous. I'm actually shaking right now. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'm going to strive and work super hard for you guys to come up with great videos for YouTube and the articles that you already love on Milk and Cookies. Thanks for being here with me today. This experience, as much as it was, I feel closer to myself. So thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video and hopefully on Substack soon.